All right. Happy Tuesday, Dream Builders. Thank you for coming to tonight's call or watching the recording. Tonight, I'm really, really excited because we have one of our own Dream Builder coaches on the call tonight, and she's going to share with you her story and her success in the business. And that is Kimi Anderson. And Kimi and I met about probably like 4 or 5 years ago now. On the Cal Poly Tri team, I've just kind of had the honor of knowing her, having her as a friend, and then now working with her for the last 2 years as a year and a half as a coach. And I wanted her to talk to you guys tonight because, one, it gets boring listening to me, but two, she has some unique talents that I definitely do not have. And I think it's so valuable coming from somebody else and hearing another person's perspective, because what might work for her could also work for you. And she kills all 3 vital behaviors. And I think that that's a huge reason that she's a diamond coach, that she's a Success Club 5 All-Star, that she's going to hit an elite coach probably this year, and that she paid for her Success Club trip, that she got Nashville ticket paid for to go to Summit. I mean, it's just accolade after accolade after accolade, and it's her consistency and it's her ability to stick to those 3 vital behaviors that has made her that successful. So without further ado, I want to pass it over to Kimi, and she's really going to hone in tonight on 2 of those vital behaviors that she really excels at, being a product of the product. But we know that because she's done almost all the programs, rocked almost all the programs, and she does it all the way through, like not, 30 days of it and then not the second 30 days. No, she doesn't just test it. She does it. So I didn't need her to talk about that one because I think we just know her. You know her posts, you know her vibes. Like, she is Beachbody all the way. So I specifically wanted her to talk about the other 2 and share what she does for success in those 2 areas, and hopefully it will help you guys. So Kimi, I will pass over to you, and I'm going to mute myself.
All right. Thanks, Whitney. That was a great introduction. I'm going to wait for you at the end to say nugget a bunch of times like Jeff Hill. So what I wanted to mention first is that, everyone who comes into Beachbody is always skeptical of MLM and pyramid schemes. And, I was kind of the same way. Everyone told me like, oh, be careful of those dang pyramid schemes. But, I trusted Whitney and I trusted Christy. And so I knew that, if it was working for them, like they had to be doing something right, and there had to be something, like it had to be possible for anyone if they could do it. And when I first decided that I might want to sign up as a coach, honestly, it was before I'd even started my full-time job after leaving college. And the last 3 days before I signed up, I literally just sat around at home. I mean, I did my PIO workout, but other than that, I sat around watching YouTube videos about the business. Whatever I could find. And I feel like most of them were Lindsay Matway's videos, how to get to Emerald, how to achieve elite. I hadn't even signed up as a coach, and I'm watching videos about how to achieve elite, just any videos I could find, how to earn cycle bonuses, how to do whatever. It didn't matter what rank I was. I mean, like I said, I wasn't even a coach. I just wanted to learn everything and all the possibilities, the compensation plan, signing up your spouse right away. Any video I can get my hands on, I just sat around watching videos, learned almost everything about the business before I'd even signed up. And then once I did sign up, I spent a lot of time goofing around on the website. So, to me, there's 3 main websites. There's the teambeachbody.com, where you have your personal site. I spent a lot of time looking at products on the website and familiarizing myself with the challenge packs. So when people ask me, how much is this? I know how much it is, or I'm familiar with all of the different products that Beachbody offers. The next website is the Coach Online Office, and so I spent a lot of time messing around in there. So my favorite tab is the My Business tab because it tells you everything you need to know about your My Business. And then also the previous office view, I didn't use much at first, but then Christy told me it updates like instantly. So if you didn't already know that, if any of your customers say like, oh, I just placed my order, you can go into the previous office view, check your orders, and it'll show up right away, and you can confirm that they made the order through you, and just go mess around in there, and you'll learn some stuff about the business. But okay, so to get back on track, the first vital behavior is obviously invite, invite, invite. And so I just wanted to share, a few of the ways that I invite people to challenge groups or to try out Beachbody products or Shakeology. And I feel like the most popular one as a coach is to do the public Facebook post. Like I really liked Whitney's the other day about, did you eat too much on Super Bowl Sunday? Do you feel like this cow? Like join my group. I feel like mine are a little bit more subtle, and I don't typically get very good results from those, but I did have pretty good results from one I shared last July, and it was because I shared my before and after photos from 21 Day Fix Extreme. So if you are going to do, Facebook invite, like general Facebook posts, I personally recommend transformation photos, and I feel like almost any other coach would do the same because when they see your transformation, they want the same results. Another way is to do just individual message invites, like personal message invites on Facebook. And so this is especially good for me if I'm friends with the person already and just want to catch up. I typically will start with like a hey girl type of message just to connect with them when they ask what I'm doing, because I ask what they're doing. I say I'm fitness coaching, and then if they mention they want to get back in shape, then great. I can kind of ask them if they would be willing to participate in a challenge group. Like my team's starting a group, kind of mention it. And if they don't want to participate, then that's totally fine. If they do want to participate, that's great. Either way, if they say yes or no, you ask for referrals. And if they don't mention that they want to get back in shape after you say you're a fitness coach, then they're probably not interested, and you kind of just don't really push it on them, because otherwise you just sound salesy, like, hey, you didn't mention you're interested in health and fitness, but join my group. Like, it's not right. So the other type of inviting that I do, and I feel like is my strongest, is in-person invites, because I meet a lot of people at work. And so I get a lot of people at my work who are overweight engineers that are stressed, need really short workouts, need healthy nutrition, need a meal plan, need someone to help keep them accountable. And so I feel like that's my strongest suit at the moment. But obviously if I leave my full-time job and do Beachbody full-time, then obviously that would kind of shift towards Facebook messages, because I would do that more. And then the other hint that I have for inviting is to make sure that you're always adding to your contact list. And so whenever you go anywhere, it doesn't matter if you're going to the grocery store, to Disneyland, to whatever you're doing, yoga class, always be open to making new contacts. So, for example, I went to a party on Saturday night, and you chat with a random person for a couple seconds, whatever. You have a cool little conversation. You ask them, hey, are you on Facebook? And they say, oh, yeah, I'm on Facebook. Here, let me find you. And boom, you've got a new friend. And not only are they just a friend on Facebook, but you also have that contact with them. And then what's really important that I need to get done from the weekend that I'm missing out on is, after you've made that contact with that person, the next day or in the next few days, send them a message and say, hey, it was really great to meet you wherever, blah, blah, blah. Because that way, whether or not they respond in 3 months, when you go to randomly message this person you friended on Facebook, you remember where you friended them from. So that's kind of important. Otherwise, you don't remember who they are. So that's kind of the inviting part. But the other thing I wanted to talk about as far as inviting is not necessarily inviting, but connecting with your customers. And so if you're Emerald and above and hitting Success Club, you should be getting Success Club leads and or customer leads from the company. And it's really important that you make contact with these people. I don't necessarily do it perfectly like the videos suggest, but I do make a point to email and text all of my leads at least once. And so I regularly check the Coach Online office, check for new customers, make sure I've emailed them a welcome email, and then I text them right away. If it's late at night, I don't necessarily want to text them right then, so I downloaded an app that allows me to set a date and time, and I'll set it to text them the next morning. So that way I don't forget, because I can text them right now and my phone will automatically send it the next day at a more decent hour. Because if it's 9 p.m. and I'm checking the Coach Online office, I don't want to text a lead in Florida at midnight their time. So that's kind of one tip that Whitney's like, oh my gosh, that sounds cool. So the lead videos do suggest that you will text and email them once a week for 4 weeks. And I need to still work on a system to get that going. But I do text and email them once. The videos will also suggest that you call them once a week. And that's particularly important if their number that's given is a landline number, which you can usually figure out if you text the number and you get back an immediate text that says, this is a landline. Then it's probably important that you call that number, as it's probably a home number. But again, I'm not very good at the calling part. I need to work on that. And then the last thing I do to connect with all of my customers, not just the ones given to me, but all of them who have ever purchased anything, signed up for a free account, anything like that, is I send out a monthly newsletter. And so I have a system down for how I add everyone's emails to an Excel spreadsheet and delete people's emails if they don't want the newsletter, et cetera, et cetera. And so I just kind of update the same document over and over each month, put in a new Shakeology recipe, update my workout progress, put in some fun pictures if I went somewhere. Because a lot of the people that are getting it that might actually open it are the people that I know or that were my challengers. And so they probably want to see an update on me, not just a Shakeology recipe or whatever. So I just kind of have fun with that. Okay, I think that's all I have for inviting. The other vital behavior that I wanted to talk about is personal development. And last year when I was commuting to work, I was really, really on top of this. I was driving a half an hour each way to work 4 to 5 days a week. And so one of those directions, I would listen to the National Wake Up Call every single day. And so on Monday on the way home, because I drove to work too early to do it live, I would listen to that day's National Wake Up Call. And then on Tuesday, I would listen to the date of Tuesday, but the year before National Wake Up Call. And then on Wednesday, I would listen to Wednesday's date, but 2 years before National Wake Up Call. And as I progressed throughout the week, listening to older and older National Wake Up Calls, like the list of recognition gets shorter and shorter. And, you know, they talk about older and older products like, oh my gosh, guys, Strawberry Shakeology's coming out. And you're like, I didn't even know like that wasn't an initial flavor. And, you know, and it's fun to like hear the history. So I actually listened to the whole call, not just like the content part, because I thought it was interesting to hear that sort of thing. Or if it's the call where they're releasing T25 and you haven't done T25, then it'll be useful for you to hear a little bit more about it so that if somebody is interested in it, you know something about it. You know, not everyone has to be me and do all of the workout programs and have actual experience, but you should know something about all of the programs. So, you know, if you ever have time and like 20 minutes, half an hour, and you're wondering what to do, just put on a National Wake Up Call. The other thing that I thought was important with those is that, you know, if you listen to all the calls from that same week throughout the years, if it's right before Summit, then you're going to be listening to 4 or 5 people's takes on how to make the best experience at Summit. And one of those might resonate with you more than the other. So it's kind of cool to get, 4 times the national wake-up call list, I suppose. I don't know. And then I just want to give one particular personal development book a shout out, and that's You Are a Badass. If you haven't read it, please stop what you're reading and read this one immediately, or listen to it on audio, whatever it is, however you can listen to it, just do it. And if you have listened to it, but not recently, listen to it again. I loved it the first time I listened to it, and I just finished listening to it again and love it again. So, yeah, pretty awesome book. Yeah, so those are the 2 vital behaviors I wanted to talk about. And then the last thing I wanted to say was just about how to get to Diamond. People will say over and over, like, oh, there's no secret sauce. You just need to put in the work. But, I've heard coaches say over and over, like, fake it till you make it. And I mean, that's kind of honestly what I did. I had a deadline to hit Diamond for a push group that I was in and for a reward that I was going to earn. And so I had a deadline, and, they say, like, oh, put up sticky notes with, like, I will be a diamond. And I actually did that, and it helped, because I believed that I was going to be a diamond. And that's something that they address in the book, You Are a Badass. If you really, truly believe that it's going to happen and you're really grateful for it, even before it happens, like, it will happen. You don't have to know how. You don't have to know what coaches you're going to sign up. You just have to believe that it's going to happen, even if it's the last day, on the last hour, on the last minute. Just if you really believe it's going to happen, then it will happen. And that's kind of basically what happened to me. I was short like an emerald and like 3 coaches, but I knew that somehow it was going to work out. And I had 2 customers commit to challenge packs that I signed up as coaches. And who cares if they, canceled their account a month later? I signed up one of my friends as a coach when one coach fell through. And then I signed up my brother. Like, fake it till you make it. Signed up a bunch of friends, family members, who cares? But the fact that I got to Diamond, when I saw that in the Coach Online office that I was Diamond, I didn't feel like a fake diamond. I felt like a real diamond, and it sounds weird, but, I felt like a real diamond. And it wasn't until like 2 days later, I was like, oh, well, it's just family members and stuff. But I mean, like, it didn't matter. I was a diamond coach. And when all of those people started canceling their accounts, the fact that I was already a diamond made it, like, the mindset easier to continue to sign up more coaches. And so, yeah, at some point I fell out down to Ruby and then down to Emerald. But by the next time I needed to get it back up to Diamond, like, I just, already had that mindset of knowing what it felt like to be Diamond. And I was able to sign up the coaches I needed on the last day, whatever it is. And I've been Diamond ever since. And so that's another point, is once you get to Diamond, you can't just sit there or you're going to fall out. And like I said, I did fall out at some point, but then was able to get back up. You have to keep working to hold, your rank. You can't just sit there or you're going to lose it. So I think that was all the tips that I had. Whitney, is that it?
That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Like, I always learn something from you every single time we talk. And this time it was about that phone app, because I'm going to be done.
Yeah, I can see your face the whole time.
I've always wanted like a Hootsuite for texting, basically.
I'm
like,
still waiting to find one I'm waiting to find the email later thing.
Okay.
So then when I can email my customer leads, I can just automatically set up the emails for like 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks later.
Yeah.
I suppose I could do that with automatic texting for follow-up, but
yeah. No, I love your points about connecting with people, and specifically connecting with customers who are given to us, because time and time again, we hear about these stories, and especially at Summit, about these top coaches who started out as a free customer. Like they just got on, and it took their coach reaching out to them. They didn't order anything. It was just an invite to join a challenge from their coach that was personally assigned to them. They didn't know the person at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so weak in that area about following up with those people that are given to me, because I get discouraged when I hear crickets and they don't respond back to me. So I send one and done, if I even send one, where you are like, I'm going to call them, I'm going to text them, I don't care if it's midnight, I'm going to get my phone app out, and they're going to get a text in the morning. So that dedication to it, I guarantee you're going to have a coach one day, a successful coach that came from one of your customers, because you put in that time to that system. And I really, really like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, right now my system looks like, okay, they showed up as a new customer. I'm going to text them. I'm going to email them. Like I said, I don't really call regularly, but I should get on that. And if they happen to respond back to my initial email or text, then they're in the forefront of my mind, and I start texting, emailing them back. So I have a lady from 2 weeks ago that just started Size and Shakeology and Activate and, all these things. And, I continually think about her now. And so every week or so, I'm going to think about her randomly and then text her.
Yeah.
Because she responded to my initial message. And the other reason why it's important to connect with those leads is, I don't even think I could count how many times I've just barely hit Success Club because a customer lead came through and ordered a challenge pack to get a new program or get Shakeology. Or, like there was one month I had 4 Success Club points, and my 5th one came because a customer lead just randomly ordered Shakeology on Home Direct. And there was another month I had 0 Success Club points. A random customer lead I've never talked to ordered Shakeology Home Direct and got me 1 Success Club point, and I was able to get 2 people to make 5. So, whether they got my message and saw it and just never responded or whatever, I feel like a lot of my Success Club points come from reaching out to those leads, and that's what they're for.
Mm-hmm. And to that point as well, I've had so many people that sign up in my challenge groups that already have Beachbody accounts. And so I go through and reassign them to my team. But if their coach had reached out to them, they don't know that they have a coach when I do that. Their coach would reach out to them and they go, you know what? Sorry, I already have a coach. And if that's us, they stay dedicated to you, and nobody's going to come in and swoop that customer from you, which could be a future Success Club point, could be a future sale, could be a future life changed in your book. So good job. The other thing I wanted to say is Kimi referred to in the video about that there are videos in our online office in the video library. And those are, I think, 4 of them about how to it breaks it down into steps about how to respond to your free customer leads as well as your Shakeology leads. And so if you haven't checked those out yet, they're in your video library. Just sign into your online office. They're right there. And it says, I think, how to contact your leads.
Yeah. So, I think the first video tells you how you get leads. And so it'll tell you they came from either beachbody.com or teambeachbody.com. Although today I texted my newest Shakeology lead, and she responded back and said, "You mean the Shakeology I bought on eBay?" Because she said it was $80 with shipping and everything for the whole month, and I'm like, what? So I'm still confused on that one. But the first video tells you how you get leads. I guess Beachbody's selling stuff through eBay. I don't know. I have no idea. But the second video will tell you, or one of the videos will tell you how to create a script to send to them. And so it'll help you. I have a draft message saved in my phone and on my email for texting and emailing that I just copy and paste. And I go the extra step to kind of look up where they live in the U.S., look it up on the map and see what time zone they're in. And I actually think about my schedule and say, okay, I'm free Wednesday at noon. And if they're in Eastern time, I know that it means 9 a.m. for me.
Yeah.
And so I try to give them times in their own time zone. So that way it's a little bit easier for them to respond. And then with the text, I just say, hey, I sent you an email with more details. Let me know when time of day is best to call you. And it's just really easy, simple, copy and paste. So.
Yeah, and then there was one other thing you mentioned about listening to National Wake Up Calls so that you know perhaps about a program that you haven't done yet if you haven't done the program. And I wanted to say that also, on top of listening to National Wake Up Calls, check out in the online office for everybody. There's, if you go to Beachbody, or you go to your online office, and then drop down to My Fitness Programs or Beachbody Challenge, you can look up, and they're by like alphabetical order by fitness program name. And there's so many good FAQs and just kind of bullet points about each program. So if you're talking to a customer and they mention a program, go, you know what, I haven't done it yet, but I will find out that answer for you, or I will give you more information on that. And all of that's at your fingertips in your online office under fitness programs, that second tab over. Just go to Beachbody Programs and you'll see every single thing they've ever invented. So if you're not Superwoman like Kimi and you can't get to every program yet.
I mean, I still haven't done them all. I mean, there's like Kathy Smith's Project U, and I probably won't ever get to that one. But
wait for the maternity one.
Yeah, or I don't ever think I'll commit to a whole 2 months of Brazil butt lift, but but you know, I've done the more popular ones.
Yeah, very good. Cool. So let's open it up. If anybody has questions for Kimi or want to add to it, feel free.
Okay, where do you find the older National Wake Up Calls?
So that's a good question. So when I first started listening to them, I would go to the Coach Online office, and then there's a news and training tab, and then you click down on the drop down to events, and then you click on National Wake Up Call, and then you click on view all past calls and archive, and you scroll down until you find it. And since I was listening to these in the car, it was really annoying to do all that on the phone. I'm amazed I didn't have a car accident. But at Summit, honestly, my biggest takeaway at Summit was that there is a podcast. So if you just download the podcast app and you search for Team Beachbody, you'll see the Wake Up Call podcast. It's just like the Inside Shakeology podcast. And so that podcast makes it really easy to download. You can download them on Wi-Fi at home and then listen to the ones that you've downloaded in the car without using data.
Awesome. Thanks.
So if you don't already have the podcast app, get it, and then also listen to those Inside Shakeology things. They're real short and easy.
You know what I've done, Tara, in the past, like if I'm kind of weak in one area or want to know more about inviting or want to know more about Shakeology, if you go to that archive, the first one Kimi described under news and events, you can hit Control F and then type in whatever word you want to learn more about. So if I type in inviting, then it just highlights the calls that were about inviting. And then you can kind of narrow it down, your topic of choice, or personal development, or you could even type in a name of somebody if you want to remember or want to hear from a coach that maybe you're following on social media. Type in their name and then you can search it by that too.
Yeah, I'd never, I'm still kind of navigating the company.
Oh yeah.
And so this last National Wake Up Call on Monday was the first one that I ever listened to, and I listened to it this morning.
Yay!
And so it was just interesting not knowing what to expect listening to one this morning.
And you heard Whitney's name.
Yay! Well,
congratulate you, Whitney.
It's my dad's name, but we won't go into that story this time.
It's Robert Whitney.
Yeah. Rockstar Whitney Small. That's what it stands for.
Kimmy, what's the app called on your phone for text?
The texting? I think it's just called Text Later.
Brilliant. Wish I'd thought of that.
It's just called Text Later.
You should have developed it.
There is life.
if you do more than like a certain number of characters, then it'll split the text into 2 different messages. Whereas like some people's phones already do that automatically, but so I have like a text that I'll send to my leads, and if it's one of those times where I'll use the text later function, I have a slightly shorter one so that it hopefully all sends as one message, but it's essentially the same content.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty easy. You just type in the person's name, set a date, and there you go.
Beautiful.
So, the other thing with my leads is once I text them, I click on their little picture and I click add to contacts, type in their full name. I add them to a group in my phone under leads and or Success Club leads if that qualifies. And then in the notes section, I'll write down their time zone, and if they ordered anything, write down anything that they ordered. And then if I do have a phone conversation with them or a text conversation where I learn more about them, their goals, something like that, I'll add that to the notes in my phone contact.
Oh, cool. I like that. I like the tip you gave too about like, because I do this a lot, add somebody to my network, but then I won't remember in 2 months who they are or where I met them. So that initial, hey, great meeting you, just to purely do it so that you can remember who they are later when you talk to them on your Facebook chat is brilliant.
Yeah.
I love that.
I need to go back and do that for this past weekend.
Yeah. Jump on it. Very good. Does anyone else have more questions for Kimi? Good. All right. Well, have an awesome evening, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, I wanted to let you guys know my mom looked into hotel rooms in Nashville. It's not looking good.
Uh-oh.
Very, very expensive. Everything's at the airport right now. So it looks like, and I asked her to look at flights out of San Jose because LA was just kind of a debacle. And it was $700.
For a hotel room?
No, for
the
plane
flight.
ticket
Oh my gosh.
out of San Jose. So LA is definitely going to still be a better choice, and it's about $500.
Okay. Last year I think mine was $475.
Exactly. It's just under 5 right now.
Yeah.
But hotels are just crazy. So it's, it's probably a good idea if we really do look into the whole Airbnb or the RBFO or whatever those things are called. I don't know.
Okay.
One of those companies that has a house.
Okay. And split it between right now 5 of us.
Yeah.
6. Emily, were you? No. Was it Elena maybe for Summit, or was it you, Emily?
Susanna got Summit.
Susanna for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's only 5 of us still right now.
Wait,
Okay.
who's the 5th person?
Jamie.
Jamie.
Oh, Jamie? Okay.
No, she's on wait list.
She's on
Yeah.
waitlist.
Yeah. So is it Allison, Whitney,
Oh, so I
Kimmy,
lied. It's 4 people.
4
right
for
now.
sure, and hopefully Jamie? Yeah? Okay.
Unless it's Tara,
yeah.
are you on track? Tara,
No.
are you on track?
No.
Okay.
Okay. So 4, and then potentially, yeah. And we can even, Airbnb, if we need to get 2 rooms, at 2 different houses, we can even swing that. So let's shoot for researching into that this week. And
Yeah, I think that above all else has to be.
what was a hotel room cost? Or it was that nothing was available, right?
Nothing was available. She found something that was like, she called it a bed and breakfast, but it was like an Airbnb type of a thing, and it was $191 a night. Just
Per
still
person?
more than No.
Oh.
For the place. So that's not too bad.
No, that's great.
I don't remember what we paid last year.
I don't either, and it wasn't that much, but there's more of us this year. So
Okay.
Oh.
191 split 4 ways isn't bad.
Yeah.
No, let's jump on that one.
Yeah.
And you get breakfast.
Yeah. If it is,
You're stupid. Yeah, but you know what? The thing is we would have a fridge, like a real fridge and a real stove.
That's what we need.
course, we
Yeah.
all just drink Shakeology for breakfast. So what do we need a fridge for?
Well, I'm not gonna. I know. I learned from last year that little place on the corner that we went to with the banana. You know, we grab a banana and a yogurt or something like that. And that was perfect. If we just had that available to grab and straight go and not have to worry about stopping and grabbing something somewhere else, because we're going to drink Shakeology in the middle of the day.
Yeah, that's true.
At the Shakeology bar, bring it or whatever. So again, really, all we have to worry about is dinner and snacks. Right.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned it to Whitney, but I saw on my credit card, those little cashback offers, like, oh, if you spend money here, you'll get like 10% back as opposed to the normal 1%. And I thought I saw something for Airbnb.
Okay.
So I can go back and check on that, and Allison, I can email you whatever it is.
Okay.
Usually they're only good for a certain amount of time, but it sounds like we want to book soon anyway, so.
So, Kimmy, let me ask you, are you still going to be living in LA?
That's the thing, I don't know.
Yeah.
I could be moving to Colorado in April, or I could be staying here for another 6 months. So I really don't know. And
we can literally take one car, Allison, because we can pick up Susanna on the way, and we'll just pay for parking. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just keep it simple. But I was just thinking, God, Kimmy, you could almost drive.
if I live in Colorado, I probably
almost. It's a kind of a long way, but you almost could.
I don't know. You could get through a lot of national wake-up calls.
Yeah. So we'll see. Whitney, have you booked flights for Jamaica?
Not yet.
Okay.
Thanks. That's another big expense coming up.
I know. Woohoo! I mean, it's totally worth it, but it's expensive.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. All good?
So, yeah. Actually, Whitney, I had another question for you. Do you want to jump back on after it ends?
Yeah, that's perfect.
And click the link again? Okay.
All right, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
All right. Good night.